The midnight express glided through the misty mountains like a silver serpent. Elif was alone in her compartment, the only sounds being the rhythmic clatter of the tracks and the rain drumming against the window. Just as she was drifting into a light sleep, the sliding door creaked open. An elderly man, wearing an out-of-date overcoat and a face etched with deep lines, stepped inside. He apologized softly and sat across from her. Elif was confused. Her ticket clearly stated this was a private compartment, but the man looked so exhausted and frail that she didn't have the heart to ask him to leave. As the journey continued in heavy silence, the man pulled a silver pocket watch from his vest and placed it in Elif's palm. His voice was nothing more than a raspy whisper. "As long as this watch keeps ticking, you are safe, my dear. But if it stops, no matter what happens, do not open your eyes." Before Elif could ask a single question, a wave of unnatural heaviness washed over her, and she fell into a deep sleep. She woke up before dawn. The seat across from her was empty. The old man was gone. Elif initially thought it was a vivid dream, but she felt the cold weight of the silver watch in her hand. It was ticking steadily. Disturbed, she called for the conductor and asked where the elderly man had gone. The conductor gave her a puzzled, uneasy look. "Ma'am," he said, "this entire carriage has been empty since we left the station. You are the only passenger here." Elif's heart began to race. She dashed out of the compartment and ran through the other cars. Everyone was asleep, but something was wrong. Every passenger's face looked eerily similar, breathing in a synchronized, lifeless rhythm. Panicked, she sprinted back to her compartment, and that's when she felt the air leave her lungs. The silver watch sitting on the table had stopped. At that exact moment, every sound inside the train died. The roar of the engine, the whistling wind, the clatter of the tracks, complete, terrifying silence. Elif remembered the old man's warning. "Do not open your eyes." But curiosity and terror were stronger. She slowly opened them. When she looked out the window, she didn't see a landscape. She saw a void. The train wasn't on tracks anymore. It was drifting through an infinite darkness where neither stars nor clouds existed. Suddenly, a violent pounding started on the compartment door. Then a new sound emerged. Not the old man's voice, but the steady beep, beep, beep of a heart monitor. The world began to blur. The silhouette of the old man appeared in the window's reflection, smiling sadly this time. "Time is running out, Elif. You must wind the watch," he whispered. With every ounce of strength she had, Elif grabbed the watch and twisted the winding crown. The moment the watch let out a sharp click and began to tick again, a massive shockwave threw her backward. Elif gasped, her eyes snapping open. She wasn't in a train carriage. She was staring at a sterile hospital ceiling. A nurse cried out nearby, "It's a miracle." Her heart had stopped, but she's back. Elif felt a strange warmth in her hand. When she opened her palm, it was empty. But on her wrist was a small, fresh bruise in the exact shape of a pocket watch crown. Her grandfather, who had died in a train accident in 1926, had just guided her back from the darkness.